Hello, I'm Tanya West from Kairos Leadership Development. And you may be wondering, why should I choose Kairos for my leadership development and that of my team? And just what is that frog doing there? Well, I will come back to the frog. You may be aware that there are a plethora of leadership programs in the marketplace. So what is it that makes Kairos different? Well, I believe you don't just need a better strategy, useful though strategy is, or even more techniques, although they can be very helpful too. But you do need a better story, your story. What do I mean? Well, great leaders know who they are. They understand themselves. And not only do they understand themselves, but they understand their strengths and they know how to leverage them to best effect. They also live out their values consciously and walk their talk. And then they inspire others to do the same. What's my leadership story? Well, back to the frog. You may be aware that if you take a frog and pop him in some cold water and slowly warm that water up, it will become so accustomed to its environment that it would eventually boil to death. Now, that's a little bit gruesome, but in my experience of leadership and in working with leaders at all levels, exercising leadership can be just a little bit like that. I've worked in the leadership arena for well over 20 years and I've worked in the voluntary, public, private sector, as well as developing Carl's leadership development, and I can certainly relate to that frog. Working in different environments in the voluntary sector, dealing with different demands, exercising leadership in the face of public spending cuts, the need to increase the bottom line revenue, the pressure and the imperative of doing more with less resources. It certainly felt that the water was hotting up. But the more I researched about leadership, the more confused I became. Do I want to be charismatic, distributed, transformational? Or is it sufficient to be myself? Why should anyone be led by me? So, what was it that enabled me to make the leadership leap? Well, essentially, it was the realisation that what was needed was not another leadership map. After all, we've got plenty of those, but rather a leadership compass. I realised that I needed to know and to be myself and not try to replicate other leadership styles or worse, follow the latest trendy leadership and management thinking. I also realised I needed to know my own strengths and use them to gain greater leverage and to become more consciously aware of my own values and how these were expressed so I could literally walk my talk. I've since designed a host of bespoke programs to enable other leaders at all different stages of their career and who work in very different environments to do exactly the same. So whether you're an aspiring leader, an entrepreneur, a new manager, a middle manager, or a senior manager, Kairos has a program that can be bespoke specifically to your needs. So is it time for you to take a leap and develop your own leadership?